I'm having a really tough week emotionally and I really don't want to make this video. But I promise that I will make a video every Sunday. So if I promise something, I'm gonna do it because that's who I am. And it is one thing that I can't break because it's one thing that I really believe in. And so, you know, I'm gonna give my best to not break my word ever. And actually it's good that I'm making this video because I got inspired by what happened to me this weekend. I think it's a very important lesson that I have learned in my life and that I want to share with you guys. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here, of course. So what happened this week was that I have a disagreement with a client. I did a really big project to her and I was really excited about it actually. I'm a photographer if you're new here, and I worked a lot of hours and I drove to a lot of locations to deliver the photos and spent so much time editing and selecting the photos. And once I got them to my client, the client didn't want as many photos anymore and tried to lessen the amount of money that was originally in the agreement between us, and it really broke my heart a little bit because it's actually somebody that I know, so I did not see it coming. First of all, and second of all, I have really bad memories with these kind of things, so it kind of triggered the bad memories, you know. So it made me think about why people do these kind of things and how to protect myself as well from them because we live in an unjust world and these kind of things are going to happen, you know. So I've been trying to give my best to avoid those things, but they're going to happen. And so the lesson that I want to tell you and the story that I want to tell you is a story about self-worth, and I want to tell you what happened to me in the past to explain where I come from and what I have learned. And one of the things that really pisses me off is the wage gap. So there's a big gap between the wages of men and women who do the same work in a lot of countries, especially in Estonia. We have a huge wage gap. And you know what is, there are so many factors, of course, why it is like this. But one of the reasons that I cannot put my head around is the fact that when it comes time for a person to say how much he or she wants for a salary, the women on average say much less than men. So let me rephrase that. When people ask women, how much are you worth? They say that they are worth much less than what the men say. Why do we do that? That is not acceptable. That is on us. You know, we might live in an unfair system that, you know, is built for men. But if we say that we are worthless, if we are asked how much we are worth and we say a number that is much lower than what men say, we cannot blame the system. We cannot blame anybody. We have to look ourselves in the mirror and ask, why do we think that we are worth less? You know? And that really bothers me as a woman and as somebody you know, who is trying to make it on this world, in this business world as well. It bothers me that women think that they are worth less because we are not, especially in Estonian women are much more educated, you know. We should be getting much more because we have more education, you know, but we don't. I think the wage gap was 25% or something few years ago, I remember at least. But okay, let's go to my story and what happened in the past that I have painful memories with and that we can all learn from. So after I graduated from university, I used to play college for Binghamton University in America. I came back to Europe to play professionally and I played in 2 different countries. Well, Estonia as well, but that doesn't count. That was for fun. 2 different countries and 3 different professional clubs. And do you want a long story or the short story? The short story is that they owe me over $10,000 in salary. And how is that possible is a lot of clubs do this on purpose. They don't pay the players what the contracts say. And how is that possible is because they take advantage of the fact that we are basketball players who our whole lives is basketball. We love the game. We are passionate about the game, and we have worked our whole lives to play basketball and to be good at it. And what usually happens, or at least what happened to me, you go to a club, everything is good, you work hard, you play the regular season, they pay you your salary, everything is good, and then comes the last months of the season, let's say last 2 months, and all of a sudden they say there's a problem with money, but the money will come in a week, or they keep pushing the deadline. They say that there's money delayed from the sponsors, but it's gonna come. They're gonna keep promising you, and it's already playoff time, so it's the most important part of the season. You have worked so hard for the playoffs. There is nothing you want more than the championship, and you have a team. You have a team that is dependent on you. The team, if you're lucky enough, is not just a team. They are your friends, they are your family, and you go to the war with them, and so there is your team, and you have worked so hard and been through so much, and you want to go on the court and beat the opponent so that you would win the championship. And then comes the money problem, and you have in your contract, if you have a good contract, that you don't have to play if they don't pay you on time, or if the salary is delayed, let's say 2 weeks, then you can sit out and you don't have to play, and they still have to pay you. But in reality, the fact is that there is not one cell in your body that doesn't want to go on the court and compete, to play basketball with your friends, with your teams, to go and fight and to get the championship. And you kind of need to play the playoffs, because this is the time to shine, to show the world who you are, so that you would get better contracts for the next season, so that you would be seen by agents and other clubs. This is where you sell yourself, at the playoff times. This is not the time where you go and sit at home and don't do anything. And the clubs know that, and the managers know that, and there are bad people out there who take advantage of that and who do it systematically. It's not just you, it's the whole team from year to year, And obviously you're not going to go back to the same team, but there are so many players out there, So the ones they want to keep, they will pay, But so this is what happened to me. And the problem why you can't sue them after the season is because a lot of them just call bankruptcy, and there is nobody you can sue anymore. It's a clever system, and it works for them. And I mean, it works for them, I guess, but they're also very bad people who, I don't know how they sleep at nights, but they take advantage of this system. And this is what happened to me in 3 clubs in a row that I went. I didn't get my salary, and there wasn't much I could do. And the worst that happened to me was also that my agent, you also have an agent who is supposed to deal with. You are just supposed to worry about getting the baskets and winning the games. You're not supposed to be worried about all those things in the contracts and getting your money. You have an agent for that, but the agents understand that there is a limited amount of clubs that they can work with, and they don't want to ruin their relationship with the clubs, because they get paid from the club, So they are also like, I have to understand where they come from as well. They need their job as well, and they need the clubs for that. But they also betray the players. At least the agent that I had betrayed me and told me, you know what, this is how the world works. It is what it is. It happens all the time on every level, in every country almost. So he didn't fight for me. He wasn't on my side. Or maybe it's just the system that there wasn't much he can do. But anyways, I fired him, and it was one of the best days of my life. You're either on my side or you're not, and that's how it is. So there comes this. This is now when I stopped playing basketball. I told myself I will never I will try to do anything that I can to not be in these kind of situations, you know. And now I stepped on the same bucket again because I didn't have the client prepay me, and I didn't. I mean, the contract, we didn't. It was a friend, so we don't have a proper contract either, right? And I'm just like, yeah, it was just stupid. It was stupid of me to like not do it properly, but I just thought, you know, it's a friend, it's okay. I don't have to worry about those kind of things. And now I have to worry about those kind of things, and it's really pissing me off. But anyways, I want to tell you the lesson that I learned from this, because this is the main thing that why I'm making this video, is because the world is an unjust place. Okay, let's take that as a baseline. We would like to live in a fair, beautiful world where nobody screws anybody over, but we don't. The world is an unfair place, and these kind of things are going to happen. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about relationships. People are going to screw you over. They're going to break their promises. They're going to try to lessen your value, tell you that you are not worth what you know what you are worth. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen on relationships, in your friendships, in your everyday life. These kind of situations are inevitable. And people are going to disrespect you. Now, the question is not whether the people are going to disrespect you, but whether you are going to disrespect yourself by letting it happen. You know, this is the question you need to be asking. Don't worry about them. Worry about yourself and what you can do. You can step away. You can step away from people who disrespect you, who break their promises, who try to tell you that you are not worth what you know you are worth. At the end of the day, you put the price. You say who you are. You say who you are, and you have to go with it, and you have to believe in that. And when people tell you otherwise, you need to walk away from those people and away from those situations, and you need to fight for what you know, what you are worth. And if you don't do that, the world is going to take advantage of you. The world is going to crush you, because that's just how the world is, and that's just human nature, and that's just how it is. Let me tell you a really good example from basketball was that there's a player who is that good. Okay, two players, they are the same level, skill level. One player has a really bad self-confidence. Okay. She doesn't think that she's good. She doesn't see how good she is, okay? And that brings her here, you know? She has the same skill, but her beliefs and self-confidence doesn't allow her to play on the level that she is capable of, you know? And then there's this other player. Actually, you know what? She might have even have the skill set that were lower than the one here. She might have the skill set of this person, but she believes she's the best player on the court. She believes when she gets the ball, she should shoot the ball every time. And she believes in herself, and she acts like it. And by that, she's raising herself up. And she's not even that good, but her confidence makes her better. You know, it's not the skill set, but it's what's in here. And this is what happens all the time in basketball. The players, it is about the skill, but it's so much more about what's in your mind. And I didn't realize that. I was a good player, but my confidence dragged me down. And I hate myself for that. I don't hate myself for that, but I knew that I never got to where I should have got because my confidence held me back my entire career. And it's still doing that to some level to this day. I am fighting myself battles in my head all the time, and I have to, you know, it's something that I have to work with all the time, and it's work in progress, and it's probably gonna be work in progress my whole life, you know. But at least I understand that, and I look back and then analyze the situations that I've been, and I was like, okay, I was good enough to do it, but I didn't believe in that, and that's why it didn't happen, you know. So you better start believing yourself. I have pep talks in my head, you know. You got this, you're good enough. Why can't you see that, you know? So what I'm trying to say is that people are going to disrespect you. The promises, the words they're going to give you, they're going to disrespect the contracts. Don't disrespect yourself by allowing that to happen, you know? But in some cases, just walk away from those people, those situations, you know? If it happens once, it's going to happen twice, you know? Unless it's an honest mistake and you really see that the person really regrets it, then I believe in second chances. I believe in second chances. I give people second chances all the time, but only if I see that they actually regret hurting me, and that they are never going to let that happen again, you know. There are no quarantines, but I believe in second chances, but only to those who really deserve them. Yeah, and there is also some battles that are not worth fighting. I had this with my father. Me and my father had a honeykeeping business, and we stopped working this January together because we had so many disagreements. And I felt that at some points we had also disagreements about money, and I got to a point where I realized that, whoa, my dad asks me to prove myself and prove my value to him, which is ridiculous, because when we go out of this door every day, we go out to the cruel world where we have to prove ourselves every step of the way. But you should never have to prove yourself to the people around you, your family, your friends. They should see who you are, see your value, and you should not be having to prove yourself to them, you know, because if they don't see what you're worth, you can do whatever, they will never see it. They will never see what you're worth. And that's why I was like, I'm not going to stand here and fight for money, and I'm not going to stand here and try to prove you who I am if you can't see that. And that battle for me wasn't worth fighting, you know. It was more important for me to have a dad. We were fighting all the time, and I said to my dad, you know what, this business, I loved it. It was dear to me. I helped you build it. It's a family legacy, but it's not worth more than having a dad. I want to have a dad more than I want to have this job or I want to have this business. And so I stepped away. I took many steps back. I gave myself months where I didn't talk to him. I went to Finland and I distanced myself so that I would have a chance to still have a father and have a somewhat normal relationship with my father. And now I have it. Because I walked away, and because I didn't fight those battles, because I didn't stand there to fight about the money or prove myself, you know, and what I'm worth, because it was more important for me to have a dad. And now I can go and visit my dad if I want, and we can talk normally, you know, and it's okay, you know, because that battle wasn't worth fighting, and so you have to, you know, pick your battles and what is more important to you. Long video, but I just want to get it out of myself. Know what you're worth. You say what you're worth before anybody else does. You say it first. So don't set it lower than what it's supposed to be. Be yourself. Be your best friend. Respect yourself. Love yourself. And tell the world what you are worth. And for those who don't listen, walk away from them. And you will find those who will understand and who will believe and who will see what you are worth. And they help you. Those people who are supposed to be in your life, they help you increase that value. They lift you up and cheer you up and make you a better version of yourself. So find those people and know what you're worth. Thank you for being here, listening to this video. I hope somebody got something out of it. I would really appreciate if you hit the like button, or if you have any stories to share, I would love to hear them in the comments. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And I'll see you on the next Sunday.